job right.
Laney.
Get it done right. He got it this time.
Thank you, Laney. You pushed the button this time. Thank you. Probably one of the better edits we've ever had.
Yeah.
Right into the show. What's up, folks? It's the extended show.
You can turn off that racket that you have.
That's Ramstein.
That's racket.
Woo!
That is racket.
Woo! 4 minutes. Did you guys all see that? We did 4 minutes. That's a record.
Woo! Actually, we got it done in 3 minutes and 45 seconds.
Yeah, and then we just filled it with nonsense.
Nonsensical noise. Because if not, you know what we'd have heard.
That's all the show is when we hear your voice.
Whatever. That's the highlight of the show. But you know what would have happened if we had went over 4 minutes. That is not the sound you would have heard.
No, it would have been this metaphorically.
It's true.
That's what would have come out of Miss Anderson's head. She would have just exploded.
White boy, what's your problem, white boy? White boy, what's your problem? Didn't I tell you 4 minutes, white boy? How many times I gotta tell you?
White people don't listen.
Don't listen.
Laney, will you shut the door?
Yeah, it does make you wonder, though. Miss Anderson would have a point. How did they end up dominating black people when they certainly don't listen? They certainly can't get nothing right.
I didn't realize
how did y'all get on top? That's what I don't understand.
I didn't realize we were going to this right away.
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
Well, speaking of,
I got a question, Boyko.
Did you show up for work last week?
No, I did not. And you know I didn't show up last week. Everybody and their mother wanted to know why I wasn't here last week.
Yeah, probably.
And I'm still not telling nobody.
Probably because it was your job to be here.
I'm not telling anybody now why I wasn't here. Please not for right now.
Showed up. By the way, what did you do to that?
Black power.
You have ruins?
That's the power of black power.
You mean gravity?
No.
Well, that's
power of black power.
It broke.
That's why they always have to corral it. Because if they unleashed it, the power, it would crush. Crush.
Your beat.
Smash.
I did, get you another one.
But they ain't got the same input. But we'll do that for later.
Okay, whatever.
Black power. Go with black power.
Up yours too.
Go with black power.
Wait, isn't that from Coming to America?
I don't think so.
I thought they did a bit on the whole straight out of Africa thing.
They may have, but I don't know if Ungawa Black
What's
Power.
What's Ungawa Black Power? Is that the saying of who?
I don't know what language of the African peoples.
No, what group used it? What group used it?
Oh,
the Black Panthers?
Just about everybody back in the 70s.
A militant group?
Just about everybody in the 70s used it. You ever watch Cleopatra Jones?
Is this the Queen of Egypt?
Oh.
Cleopatra. I heard Cleopatra, no?
You ain't never watched Cleopatra Jones?
Is this the Mrs. Jones and Me? Mrs. Jones and Me. No?
No, Boyko.
Now you're allowed to laugh even though you're off camera.
She's laughing. You ever seen Cleopatra Jones?
Look, I kill it. Navi is a comedian's best friend. If she was to go to a comic show, you put her in the front row and you think you kill.
Now I got a question for you, Boyko.
You think you kill it.
I got a question for you, Boyko.
I won't listen.
But it's dealing with something that's in the news today.
Russia.
Nobody worried about Russia.
Syria.
Sadly, nobody's worried about Syria either.
Well, that's not true.
I'm talking about something that concerns the people, the politique. We don't live in Europe, and most people can't find it on the map.
Politique?
Yeah, and most people can't even find Europe on the map. We've learned that. Most people can't find it. And definitely most of our students can't find Europe on the map.
No, they still think Egypt's in the Middle East.
Even if they see Europe on the paper, they still don't know where it's at. So
wait, Egypt's in Africa?
Yeah. It's like today, it's like, okay.
Charlton Heston was white.
It was like, okay, what's the capital of Italy? Ain't that London, England?
Oh my God. And they even say the city and country.
Yeah.
Ain't that London, England?
The capital of Italy is Europe. France.
London.
Look, are you trying to hurt our students' feelings right now?
No, not at all. I'm just talking. But this is what I wanted to ask.
Which when you do, it hurts people's feelings. So.
Nonsense. I wanted to know, did you see what happened in Cleveland the other day?
I'm sure their basketball team lost or something.
No, I'm not talking about the Cavaliers and LeBron.
Did they close another school?
Remember what happened last year?
Did they lay off a bunch of more people?
Remember what happened last year when the police killed that 12-year-old boy?
Yes, because he had a plastic gun?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, you saw that they released something late. Just shows why people don't trust the police. They released the report.
At least you were specific that time.
They released the report Saturday night at 8:30. Saturday night at 8:30.
Which, by the way, if you're an intelligent person, you don't release stuff on a Saturday night.
And definitely 8:30 when Miami and Florida State were going at it tooth and nail. No, that's the best time to release it because they know nobody gonna pay attention.
Well, I disagree, but I didn't know we were taking
so they wait till
that route.
They wait till the biggest game of the night was going on. Miami and Florida State was battling.
Yes, because Cleveland cares about Florida football.
Florida college.
College football. Who does Ohio State need to keep an eye on, Boyko? Florida State.
Apparently their own players.
And keep in mind, Urban Meyer, who did he coach for many years? Florida. So you don't think he's keeping an eye on Florida State? Anyway.
Truth bombs. You heard it here.
So the police wait till
you heard it here.
8:30 Saturday nights to release a report saying that when the cop killed the boy.
Was it on blank paper?
Probably was. When the cop killed the boy, it was justifiable. Now why? And then they wonder why people don't trust, well, I shouldn't say people, why a group of a community don't trust the police.
All right, I have an issue, and I'm not defending them.
Why couldn't they release it Monday morning?
You think they were hoping for a reaction? That's the only thing I can think of. They wanted the city to pull a Baltimore, because that might do it.
It did though.
Cleveland already wants to destroy their city just because they live in Cleveland.
I can understand that.
Cleveland.
All you gotta do is
everyone in Cleveland's like, yeah, we want to leave.
All you gotta do is set the lake on fire again, and that'll solve that problem.
I thought you were talking about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I think, isn't that in Cleveland?
Yeah, it is.
So
that's the only thing.
It's bad enough that they let Kiss in last year. Maybe that didn't cause a riot.
I mean, but seriously, why would you wait to a Saturday night to release something?
Can we go back to discuss it? Because I think we all can say that we don't want a child to be killed.
Yeah.
But as a police officer, you know, we played guns as kids. Everyone's done it. And you have that little orange tip. And I don't know if this had it or not. And
then they said it was off.
That's a problem.
It was off.
So if you're running around, even as a kid, pointing this at people, I don't know how you deal with this.
Well, you know,
yes, you'd want to err on the side of caution, which is don't shoot a kid.
Mm-hmm.
But what's the story? Was he pointing it at people?
Well, there had been a 911 call. They said there seemed to be a boy in the rec center. He has a gun, but then the person said that it's probably fake. But when the dispatcher told the police,
he didn't say it was fake.
Yeah, he didn't say it was fake.
And even if they did, I don't think the normal MO of a police officer is to check if it's fake. This is the problem.
So what happened was even the police admit and so when they approached him, the boy being 12, I guess he had the gun in his hip.
We all watch TV.
And I guess, I couldn't, it's recorded. I just chose not to watch it. I guess he reached for it. Even the police said he probably was just trying to show that it was fake and that he didn't mean anything. He wasn't no harm. He probably figured out they were coming toward him. I don't know, I'm just guessing.
Well, and it's all conjecture. That's the problem.
Conjecture. So,
and then, of course, the only person who can speak on what happened is the guy who shot.
Because dead men tell no tales.
Which was the situation with Trayvon.
Yeah.
The same situation.
But why would you release it at 8:30 on a Saturday night?
I know you asked that 8 times. What's your guess? Because I already gave you my guess.
I think it's just, look, if you feel it's justified, when have you ever known the police to say a shooting is not justified?
Well, lately, it's come up that they did it a lot in the past. And now, I think 7 of those officers were indicted at first for Freddie Gray. But the trial's not for another year. So here's the thing. I was under the impression, this is just my opinion, that they were going to wait for a year, let things chill out, and then release these cops. Like that, and
let it cool down.
It has been proven by these groups that perhaps, let it cool down. That perhaps some of our police, because of the job they work and the unfortunate aspect of what our country has done to certain socioeconomic groups and stereotyping them, that they do, if not come across racist, or have actually become, not all of them, but inside them, this idea that the trust is not there. And then the trust is not returned.
Yeah.
And then the trust, of course, is not returned, so it's a downward spiral.
The issue is trust. The issue is simply trust.
Trust and respect.
Yeah.
And there's none for either in those
Another side
situations.
right now. So,
And this is why a 16-year-old kid's gonna really, no matter what, have his face plastered on the hood of the car, because the assumption is, why are you out here this late at
and
night
the other side is, why are you bothering me
when I'm just walking home?
when I'm just walking home? There is no trust. And then when you release a report at 8:30 on a Saturday night, when people either watching
They were trying to
Florida
flip it out.
State
You're right.
versus the U.
Nobody in Ohio cares about.
Or they were out having themselves a good time. Movie,
You think they were trying to
Dinner.
slip it out?
dinner, dancing, going to the club, make it rain, make it rain.
And then the only benefit that could do is that people find out at different times, therefore not everyone finding out at the same time and texting each other and being
That's
like,
true.
we gotta do something
Or-
about this.
I didn't realize they had released it. Now
I'm mad, but everyone else got mad at a different time. Everyone's got mad. I mean, isn't that what happened in Baltimore? It was released at like an exact moment, and everyone was standing there watching. And then
It's something
it
like
just,
that, yeah. That's
next-
about right.
you know, after school, everybody started
Yeah.
the whole, we're gonna.
We're gonna do something. We're gonna do something.
It's
Now I
not-
know you like the Russia stuff.
I do like the Russia stuff.
Boy, Putin.
You know, I heard something over the weekend.
That Putin, he just.
They were arguing over Putin. But here's the thing, he's got nothing to lose. We're not gonna do a thing about it, and we shouldn't.
Now why is that?
Because the issue is that we cannot curve Russia at the moment, because this is the whole appeasement World War II scenario, which is, why would the United States ever want to get into a conflict with Russia? Whether we win or not, millions of people would die.
Yeah, that's true.
So the brinksmanship, which is what Putin will probably push,
Which he's pushing.
and he has another year to do it, because we know President Obama is not a brinksman, and by any means. I think that's been made clear, correct?
Yeah, he doesn't want to fight.
Yeah.
You cannot.
So Putin has a year to get done what he needs to get done.
You cannot get elected on. I'm trying to get us out of wars
And
to put us in bigger wars
presidency in one.
and a bigger war.
Yeah, World War III.
Yeah.
Honestly, it would be World War
He
III.
doesn't know about that. I would also take this Syria thing. I'm just speculating, Boyko.
We're gonna proxy war it like we did in Afghanistan.
But I also think this is the side effect of Iraq. If
Well,
I,
ISIS exists because of Iraq.
if Iraq had not gone bad, I think the U.S. would have been more inclined to get involved more in Syria.
Well, we wouldn't have had to.
I think-
ISIS wouldn't have been as powerful.
But I think even still, if Iraq had not gone bad, it's hard to go to the American people and say, we want to get more involved in Syria.
Well,
And they go, but what, you got involved in Iraq and look how bad it is there.
Afghanistan's turned into a
It's struggling.
snub. Yeah.
It's struggling.
So I think the mistake in general was thinking that we as the United States could be the bringers of democracy to an area of the world that is.
That's
whether or
very
not they were-
different.
Yeah, they're just different.
They're different.
And they're
Their
split.
democracy will not look.
Well, and they're split. So democracy might not work for them.
It will look differently.
You'd have to have two groups get along by choice versus by being
Or
forced.
do
which
like they
have.
do in Lebanon.
And Lebanon took a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand. But like they do in Lebanon,
15 years.
well, hey, this percentage is gonna go to Christians,
Yeah.
this percentage is going to this percentage is going to that.
And it took a long time to get there.
Yeah.
And with the powerhouses of Saudi Arabia and Iran forcing their hand, they won't let it be shared when they have the chance for this free. The Arab Spring has given both sides of the
A chance to,
to push their power throughout the Middle
And
East.
I think this is a good example of Americans and Europeans using their logic, imposing it on another part of the world, and it's not working. And I don't, who was that I was listening to? I was listening to, you know who Henry
It's
Kissinger
the
is,
same.
don't you?
It's the same as Germany after World War One.
You know who Henry
Yeah,
Kissinger is.
Kissinger. He was like the foreign advisor for
Nixon.
It was Nixon.
Nixon and Ford. He made a point that America sees it as, if I replace you're the problem, I take the problem out, problem solved.
And then democracy solves all.
So when
Which was the Kaiser. Honestly, let's take it to World War I.
they took Saddam out, and they're like, Saddam's the bad guy. Now that he's out of there, that should solve the problem.
Power vacuum.
What happened was, not understanding, the unintended consequence was, we released all this.
You have three groups of people in a country that was forced to be created by Great Britain. Did Great Britain make our?
Yeah, the Europeans.
So you had the Kurds in the north, the Sunni and the Shia sharing Iraq by force. Saddam Hussein was
the strong man.
Sunni.
Yeah,
he was a Sunni dictator.
He was the minority.
And he kept the Shia and the Kurds
He kept
down.
everybody in check.
It's no different than Tito in the Balkans, which was the guy that died in Yugoslavia, and then all of a sudden all the Yugoslavia countries popped off on each other in the 90s. The Balkan War.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So it's the same thing. You take the Kaiser in World War I. Germany has been used to being told what to do for 300, 400 years, and then you just say, hey, you're all going to be a democracy. I want you to meet in this building and hash stuff out and vote. When they're used to just being going, hey, we're going to war. The Kaiser says we're going to war.
And, you know, people want their say. People want their say.
And how far are you going to go for it?
Obviously, they don't mind going all out.
Well, it's because the religious zealots behind the movements. Look, there are very tame and intelligent and promotive Muslim groups that are wanting to run correctly, but have been edged out by these radical Islamic groups. ISIS being one of them. Everyone, it's hungry hippos. Who can get enough people to win their battle, and then the country is theirs? Because they know certain groups aren't going to come in and stop them because it's their business.
Like, you know,
which is why Russia going in is just
like you
for
say,
Russia.
Putin has nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose. If it fails, then he lost a few $1 million. That's it. If he succeeds, he now has his Saudi Arabia.
But if it fails, he's got all the Muslims in his country.
Which are the opposite. Did you watch Fareed Zakaria yesterday? Are we
I
talking
didn't.
about the same show?
No, but I just...
That was his argument. He's like, look, he's helping a Shia government. 99% of the Muslims in Russia are Sunni. And so they said Russia can almost guarantee that they're going to have terrorist attacks now because of what he's doing in Syria.
I just know they have a lot of Muslims in the southern...
Yeah, Chechnya, Georgia.
In the southern part of his country. But he must feel pretty confident that he can...
Well, I think it's no different than 9/11. A terrorist attack is a way to solve a problem sometimes.
Well, look at Turkey over the weekend.
Yeah, holy crap, a bomb? 90-something people?
They refer to that as
their
their
largest
9/11.
9/11. Yeah, that's their 9/11.
And they're going after the Kurds.
And Turkey won't pull punches.
They start going after the Kurds.
They will attack their own people.
They went after the Kurds
if
Sunday.
they think they're wrong.
Yeah.
They went after the Kurds?
Yeah, they went after them Sunday.
I didn't know it was a Kurdish terrorist attack.
That's how they taking it as.
I don't know. I didn't read up on that yet.
I just know they started yesterday. They're wasting no time.
Turkey's nervous. They got Europe pushing from one end, Russia and Syria pushing from the other. Do you know they literally have soldiers just waiting at their borders, expecting just the crap to pour in.
Yeah, they have to. It's but look at.
And then the migrant crisis on top of that. Europe's accusing them as being the channel, which Turkey's like, look, we're just letting them walk through. You don't need to chill. Dude, it's such a stress.
It's something.
Do you think this is like pre-war type scenario?
I know what it is. People are on the move in massive scales that people aren't used to.
And anytime people move around, you have issues.
You have issues. Europeans are not used to people being on the move in their continent.
Well, France has always had Muslim issues, they've said. And even
and Germany's having a bigger one now.
They're right.
Britain has always been nervous. Britain has always been nervous of their Muslims.
And Britain's safe because you don't get to cross the channel. You ain't getting down in the subway and walking 15 miles.
All you gotta do is get on that Aerostar.
That's true. How much is it, Balkmon?
Oh, how much was it? I think it was like 120 euro. No, 120 euro. Pound, I'm sorry. 120 pounds.
Oh, so that's 180 euros.
I think that'd be like, that's almost like what?
Or $3,000.
Yeah, that pound is tough.
The pound's up again.
Yeah, so the pound.
No wonder Great Britain wanted to stay out. They were the smart ones.
Yeah, they were smart. They stayed out. But I know, what is it? I think for every dollar, it's $1.60 to the British pound.
Whoa. Well, then the euros,
The euro and the dollar are about.
it's like 127.
They're about
the euros come down that
come
far.
down.
Oh.
It was about equal. But at least when I went to London.
Germany's.
But I know
pissed.
when it said $70 in $75, 75 pounds, it was like
Okay,
100.
we'll translate that for you in a second after he figures out what he's
It was like
talking about.
125 American dollars. That pound, it don't explain.
There's a much easier way to do it, and it usually is one of them being either a pound or a dollar. Not 75 pounds is $150. Like, there's an easier way to do it.
So what's the easier way, Boyko?
You would pull up the exchange rate.
I did it on my phone, but I took it off because I'm not in Europe right now. What kind of nonsense is this?
What this show is based on. Absolute nonsense.
But now the fact is that you have people on the move throughout the world.
Yeah, all over.
All over the world. Now watch, what's going to be interesting is when they start hitting the Chinese.
Well, I think China's already... I thought people were fleeing from China because of the population.
No.
1 British pound is 1.53 US dollars.
So 1 pound for $1.53.
So $100, 100 pounds is $153. $153.
Hence $1 and
And
$1.52.
yeah.
By the way, that was your math problem of the day, folks. You just moved the decimal point over 2
And
spots.
for our students, that was way
FSA! Yes, that was your FSA
that was
question of the
way
day.
too much. But I mean, people are on the move.
Yes, and Germany, you know, I had a discussion with somebody recently. Germany is doing something that looks good for Germany, but will harm politics in Germany for the next 10 to 15 years. The extreme right-wing groups have not left Europe.
No, they're not leaving, and they're showing themselves more.
And it will get greater as people feel that
In your little class,
immigrants.
in your little class, your little Holocaust class,
It's not little, it's got 29 people.
your little Holocaust class.
Holocaust.
I
It's
was,
at Christmas. Holocaust. Holocaust about $5. Or how much in pounds?
$7.50. So anyway, as I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted.
Not rudely, it was a correct interruption if you can't pronounce
Rudely
the word.
interrupted.
Holocaust.
You
correctly.
had that little Hungarian party, Joke. What is it? The Joke party? The Juke party?
Jobbik?
Yeah,
Jobbik.
Yeah, the Joke. I did a little bit.
Oh, you looked this up?
Yes.
Taking stuff from my class and learning about it. Folks, it's official. Thank you. Nice.
Boyko, number one, I have to check because I know you don't know nothing. Boyko, I have to verify all your stuff. You know that, right?
Whatever.
I have to because I know we learned last
Because you
year.
don't trust me. What
Because
kind
we
of a
learned
friend
last
are
year you didn't know
You
nothing.
don't trust
You
me.
didn't know the basic stuff about Hitler.
I messed up one thing.
One of many. One of every day.
One of one.
Those
Let's just
kids took
divide
your class
1 by 1 equals
for
1.
90 days. 90 mistakes. That's right. Jeez. 90 days. 90 days.
How many is that?
My students sit here me make 90 mistakes every day.
No, this just the one of when you became a teacher.
Nonsense.
One big mistake. One.
The only mistake I made,
The only mistake they made was getting your
I
class.
made was waiting so long to claim Caesar as my son.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't have an aw sound. I need an aw sound.
Yeah, that was my mistake. But then and now you got a job in your class, thank the Lord.
Yeah, he finally got a job. Congrats, Caesar.
But anyway,
He's checking. You know what his job is? Ironically, he's checking everybody's passport or census cards every day. So one of the immigration things we do in classes is the Holocaust is whether or not they're still allowed to work or not, and he checks them.
He ought to know. He ought to know about working.
Well, that's the
Or
thing.
lack thereof.
He had 4 of 6 boxes checked. If the other 2 get checked, he'll never be allowed to have a job in class. So he finally got himself a job.
Yeah, because he would be going in your class technically to the gas chamber.
Well, no, we don't do that. That's the stuff we don't do in class anymore. It's the simulation.
No, but
I give them a survivor to follow throughout the semester.
he'd have been in the gas chamber.
Oh
But
my
anyway.
God. See, this is, folks.
But nonetheless.
No. I've recently changed the way I teach my class, and we'll talk about the reasons at another time.
Yeah.
But what he's saying is not correct. Which, by the way, if you put that into the formula of whenever Balkmon talks, it's not correct, you're fine.
Nonetheless.
Now you can laugh out loud.
Nonetheless, Boyko, I
We should
checked.
just keep you on mic.
I checked that little party that was in Hungary, and Hungary's on the move.
Just keep laughing.
Hungary is on the move. I mean that
Well,
party.
I don't want to
is,
say they're on the move.
but you know that party is.
Hungary is doing the toilet flush of just getting rid of everyone from
But you know,
it.
but you know what I mean. That party is growing in popularity.
That's the me. Oh, Jobbik?
Yeah, the Jobbik.
Well, of course it is. They have an immigrant problem, and that's their number one run. Navi?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You have to laugh out loud.
Okay.
It's good for the show.
Okay.
Until her laugh is infectious, I'm telling you.
For you. So nonetheless,
So you're
Or
laughing
nevertheless.
too. You can't help it either. Listen to her giggle.
she can't stop herself.
That's why it
She
works.
can't stop it. And then
You
she
don't
tries
even
to
have to
hide
say
it.
something funny.
And then she tries to hide it. That's what makes it funny. But she tries to hide it. And he's like, she ended up laughing even more.
Yes, Jobbik is going to go up.
You see that
Golden
a lot of
Dawn of
places.
Greece. Golden Dawn of Greece.
Even in Britain, if you notice,
I didn't do Britain's, but
the Labour, even the Labour Party, I noticed is becoming.
the National Front in France.
The Labour Party was like, well, why are we part of? I don't want to say NATO, but it was something that.
The European Union. Everybody wants to leave the European Union. All the
But it was
extreme right-wing
something-
groups want to leave
But
the
you know,
Union.
Labour in Britain is left.
They want to leave. They've been talking about leaving for
But it was
years.
something else. They were like, we don't see why we need to be part of this anymore. Even conservatives like, okay, wait a second, maybe we need to stay in this.
Well, if
But the idea is people are become, surprisingly with all this, far more nationalistic.
well, and it's that's the thing. You have France, who's always been French.
Vive la France! Hey! Yeah. Don't think I know. Oh yeah, I forgot you German. You don't want to hear that. You want to hear.
We want the Rhineland back. We want the Alsace. We want the
That's
Alsace,
what you
Lorraine,
want.
and the Rhineland
That's what
back.
you want to hear. That's what you want to hear. Yeah.
Give it back.
That's what you want to hear.
We took in 1870. Give it back.
That's what you want to hear.
Oh, and Northern Italy. By the way.
Ah, beautiful Italian.
Northern Italy. You know they all speak German there still.
Yeah, no.
What the hell? What was that?
You forgot, Boyko, I went to Italy.
So you got Golden Dawn in Greece.
Mm-hmm.
That has 18% of the vote right now. You have the National Front in France, 31.
And did they just
Well, that's Austria's
no, but then
Freedom
they just
Party.
no, but then they just like the daughter kicked her
yes.
father
She's
out
under-
of the party.
Yeah. She's
Hey,
like-
hey, he's suing the party.
What's her name?
He's
Now
suing
you
the
remember
party.
her name?
No.
Le Pen, ain't it? Le Pen.
Le Pen, Marie Le Pen.
Oh,
Marie Le Pen.
yeah.
Hey, Balkmon.
Baldwin be on his stuff. Once again, now you see why I have to verify what Boyko teaches. Because half the time he'd be wrong.
Gosh, it's a lose-lose situation. I'm apparently always
You've
wrong.
been to France, right, Boyko?
And I'm white. Yes.
I haven't been to Paris. I haven't been to Paris yet.
I thought you went to Paris when you made that trip.
No, I went to Brussels. I went to
Belgium.
Brussels instead.
Did you go to The Hague? Did you see The Hague and all that? The World Court?
No, The Hague is another city in Belgium.
Really? I thought that was in Brussels too.
It's another city. It's in fact The Hague is in the Netherlands.
No, I don't believe that.
Look it up, yeah.
Navi, Hague.
Look it up.
Where's The Hague? All right, while she looks it up.
But I didn't go because I
France?
decided because my wife didn't come with me. It would seem odd to be in Paris without your significant
Correct,
other.
correct.
to-
I agree. I only did it before I met mine. So,
Mhm.
do you want to
If
hear a
I was
funny
single,
story
I
about
probably
France,
did.
Balkman? Do you want to hear a funny story?
Is it about a croissant?
No.
Crêpe Creuset? Allez voir?
No.
Okay.
No, it's about
Wait, what? How do you spell it?
Hague.
Hague.
Mm-hmm.
very good.
Holland.
Is it where?
It's in Holland.
Holland.
Okay,
Say that one more
I am
time.
incorrect.
Where?
Holland.
Holland. You know what? You know the
Don't
other
laugh
name
while you
for.
say that.
Do you know the other name for Holland is?
Yeah, what's the other name for Holland?
What's the other name for Holland? Just say it.
The
The
Netherlands.
Netherlands.
Okay.
What did
And
I
what are
say
the
the
people
Hague was
called?
at?
And what are the people
There.
called, Nami?
I said the Hague was in where?
The Dutch. The
Yeah.
Dutch.
He said
Right
Brazil
here.
in Belgium. once again for all to see.
Look, we get it.
Oh.
We get it.
Bang!
Did you see them? Do you know that's in the morning show?
Yeah, I heard it this morning.
It's pretty cool.
I had turned my back. So
I love that they added that right at the end. Just you going bang. Yes, you did it again. Thank you.
So,
I'm gonna have to make a big deal when I'm finally
Le
right.
Pen.
Marie Le Pen.
Yeah, she kicked her dad out. Now he's suing the party.
And do you know she's up for trial on racism?
I'm not surprised because that's their.
Well, they're very anti-immigrant.
And aren't they somewhat anti-Semitic too?
Well, they still consider Jews immigrants.
Okay, so there you go. There I go.
So, remember, Europe's old school.
Very old.
So once immigration is started, look at France.
You know, it's interesting.
She has the largest political party, and she's up for a racism charge.
And she may become the next president
31%. Yeah, she might be a president of France.
in a year or so.
Was it Francois Hollande?
Yeah, because he giving the hand. He's not gonna
He
run.
was, and then off again, and then went back, didn't he? Because didn't the last guy get arrested?
What was his name? The one that him and
Yeah.
Bush were good friends.
And he got in trouble for being with like
A woman.
a woman.
Yeah,
and
yes.
well, no,
That younger
not
lady.
just a woman, because France it's okay to have a liaison. It's really weird.
Hollande got that. His wife, you know.
Yeah, but she's cool with it apparently.
Yeah, she's cool.
It's normal.
That's what they do. That's what they do.
Yeah, the French are okay with
Isn't it interesting though? All these.
liaison.
Isn't it interesting? All these countries are struggling with immigration, and the
And
one
then-
country that.
And we have people talking about.
But you know the one
Trump
country.
here.
But you know the one country that isn't killing people over the issue is the United States. As much as we argue about immigration, we're the country that somewhat knows how to deal with it.
That's what me and Gonzalez talked about one day on the
We somewhat.
notorious B&G show. Check it out. We talked about the fact that our immigrant problem is not even remotely
No, not even.
a problem.
Not even close. Not even close.
The economies of Europe will change drastically simply
The culture
because of
of
being good to people, which
Well, you know,
is
you
the
think
downfall.
about it though. Watch why they don't want to do it.
Germany is leading the world economically,
But Germany, you expect Germany. You have an idea of their culture.
and they need to keep the change.
France, they have. Yeah, America. You go. Americans, they just do
Over
everything.
the melting pot.
What's
Yeah.
American culture?
If I was to have you picture a French person, describe them.
Croissants.
And white.
And white. Yeah.
White, speaking French.
Parlez-vous français?
Romantic. In
Oui,
a
oui,
way.
bonjour.
The Eiffel Tower.
Oh, mi amor.
Oh,
Let's put our lock on this bridge. They took all the
Yeah,
locks off the
that-
bridge.
It fell because of all the weight
of
from
the
the locks.
Yeah.
Oh, the love of the world, the wind.
But when you think of a German,
Oh, I
Don't.
just think of like a big, buff person
Me.
talking that. What's that
I
one right there?
So do the Hitler pose, come on.
Oh my god.
Just
Do you know that one of my German friends watches this show?
Oh, really? We got this? We have a German watching the show?
We have someone in Alaska watching.
Really? They got nothing better to
Oh
do.
wait, no, they just time out. No,
It's
they-
probably so cold they can't.
No, it's the United States. So
Cabin-
it just lights up.
Cabin fever hits.
We have a student in Greece watching.
Greece? Oh.
Remember Gwen? Gwen's in Greece.
Oh,
She's watching the
Greece.
show, and then my friends in Germany are watching the show.
Beautiful. When you think of an Italian?
Oh, pizza.
Yeah.
Pasta.
We're talking about the people, Navi.
You're talking about the food.
Describe the people.
Skinny. I don't know why.
What, that-
They
what's
are.
funny is the opposite
They
in
are.
Italy. What?
I don't
They
know.
are.
You will see a 350-pound guy walking with like a.
I mean,
It's
A
because
model.
I heard this one guy told me, he was a student over there, and he told me that like the streets were very small, and the stairs and the doors were very small.
It's
You
true.
have to be
So
skinny to
It's
walk.
they have to be
Not
skinny,
true.
yeah.
He lied to you.
no, he didn't.
Oh, he lied.
No, he didn't. He told you the truth. Let me tell you what happened.
Shut
Let
up.
me tell you what happened when I went to the clothing store, me and my wife.
Oh, okay.
Went to the clothing store, me and my
Nothing
wife.
fit you.
And I was like,
No, they followed him around.